Kia ora, welcome back to the channel. So I had this wild idea where I would rank every single Sleep Token song that they have ever released, main release only of course. Essentially I had this whole video. At that point only 2 of the singles had been released from Even in Arcadia, and then some life stuff happened and here I am. During that whole process, Even in Arcadia came out, so now I'm reworking some of the video to fit in those songs from that album. So you're gonna see me, I think 4 weeks ago and me now when we get to the Even Arcadia. But essentially what we're doing here is we're ranking every single Sleep Token song, main release. I've made a tier list, so I will send this back to previous me and then you'll see current me eventually, this whole Twilight Zone fucking thing. Anyway, I'll see you when we get to Even in Arcadia. Okay, kia ora, welcome back to the channel. Today is a bit of a different one. We have a bit of a different setting. The camera is a different place. I'm sitting in a different area. My laptop is in view. There. With the recent Sleep Token releases, I've been going back and listening to the entire discography from Sleep Token, and it got me thinking, wow, there are so many good songs here. This would work well for a tier list video. So I've gone ahead, I've collected every song that Sleep Token have released, main releases, created a tier list. We're going to go track by track, ranking each one, finding where they sit. As you can see here, I've created a tier list and I have a few different tiers right here. At the top up here, we have S, you are my God. A, I will give you my everything. B, it's not love, but it's something. C, I'm climbing higher, but I feel nothing. D, this feels like falling. And F, no forgiveness, no deliverance. Down the bottom here, I have all the different tracks, all labeled. So let's just listen to these songs and reminisce. It's a good chance to sort of get your head around the entire discography. Sleep Token have a very interesting discography. And with these new releases coming up, it's a good chance to refresh ourselves. And it's also just fun, you know? You get to hear my opinions on music, which I'm sure you're all very thrilled about. I'll have a link for this tier in the description below. If you guys like, you can rank all the songs yourself, where you think they sit, share them on Instagram, put it on your story, something like that, just so I can see it and I'll reshare it and we can discuss it. Let's go!
What's the recommended amount of dedicated RAM I should have to a server?
So the first song we have here is Thread the Needle. This is the first track off the EP1, the first song within their discography that they've released. Very interesting to see where they've sort of come from and how far they've sort of traveled since their first release. It's very pretty, it's very atmospheric, very heavy and evil towards the end. The kind of track that I'll come to when I really want to hear it, but it's not a track that I will specifically be looking out and searching for. It's nice to listen to where they started and compare that to where they are now and the music they've released. I think for me, this one sits maybe around the B ranking. It's not a bad song. It's not the greatest song they've ever written. It's definitely cool to listen to and reminisce. I think there are other songs, especially within this era of Sleep Token, that fit more into an S or an A tier. The next one is Fields of Elation. This track is very moody. The soundscape and the instrumentals are sick. Again, not a huge standout for me. I think it's very much a when I'm in the specific mood for it kind of song. I think this one also sits around the B mark. The first EP is always fun to listen to in terms of where they began, but it's not something that I necessarily seek out amongst other releases. Like 2, for example, has, I think, more songs that stand out a lot more for me. So I think I will also rank this one A, B. The next song is When the Bough Breaks. 7 minutes, man. So this is kind of where we see the seeds being sown for what would eventually become a Sleep Token trope of having these long, lengthy songs that build up from soft, you know, atmospheric, moody sections to like heavier, energetic sections. It's a good song. There's a lot of songs like this, like with Take Me Back to Eden, Nazareth. They feel like an epic saga, like a story that's being unfurled and you're kind of there witnessing it. Again, it's kind of one of those tracks where you really need to sort of get your head around it and be in the mood for it. I think it's much more accessible than the other tracks on the EP, and for that reason I think it sits around the A mark. I think it's very versatile, very different. It's sowing the seeds for kind of what we come to know and respect Sleep Token for. Moving on to EP2, we start off with Calcutta. Calcutta is very cool. It's got a very cool soundscape. The drums are insane. With 1 and 2, they're kind of showing you, establishing the roots for what the band will eventually become. Songs like this definitely do stand out amongst others, at least within this era. It's not the best song that they've written. So I think it also sits around the B mark for me. There's nothing necessarily wrong with it, but there's nothing necessarily that makes it stick out more than other tracks, especially within 2 itself. Speaking of, we are now moving on to Nazareth. Nazareth rips, absolutely rips. It is a solid track, very much holds up on its own. It achieves what I think they're trying to achieve with some of the other songs, where they provide this like soundscape and this atmosphere and they're taking you on this journey, but it has just such a memorable vocal performance. Everything about it just fits so well. It's definitely a standout for me, at least within this EP alone or within the first 2 EPs. One of my favorite songs, definitely one of the best songs they've ever written, especially in this time and this era. For their like second EP, it's nuts to think that they've written something like this. So I think I'm going to have to rank it S, because it is just, it's one of the greatest songs that they've ever done, and something that I personally go back to constantly. The next song is Jericho. Something in the way you lay, enough to make the dead switch. Jericho again for me feels like how Calcutta fits, or the first EP feels. It feels like there's something there that they're trying to do. It does work, but it doesn't stand out as much for me as Nazareth would. It's still a very solid track. It's got some very solid moments, but yeah, I think again, it just doesn't really necessarily stick out too much for me. Something that I've kind of noticed, at least this era of Sleep Token, is it feels very sectioned. Like there's a section here for this, and then there's a section here for this. Or within 1 and 2, here's this section, and then we're going to do this. Here's the breakdown. Here's the chug section. We're going to break down again. It feels very like segmented, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just when you listen to it, you're like, okay, all right, I understand. It's not subverting anything like they do with their later tracks. There definitely are moments within the albums that make me think, whoa, I was not expecting that. That's insane. So I think for that, I'll also place this one on B. The next track is Jaws. I definitely think the instrumental saves this one a bit. It's very emotional and builds slowly. The instrumental sort of comes in and just keeps it fresh. It suffers being in this part of the discography because it feels like, okay, yep, I understand, we're very emotional, we're ballady, we're whatever. But I think the instrumental saves it. It kind of gives it extra flavor, extra emotion, and you kind of understand it and feel the emotion that they're trying to convey with the song. Again, it's not necessarily a song that I think I would personally go out of my way to listen to. If I'm listening to this discography and it comes up, I'm not going to skip it. It's a very good song. It's a solid song, but I'm not necessarily craving like, oh man, I haven't listened to Jaws for a while. I should listen to that. Like, so I think it sits around the B mark. And the next track is Hey Ya.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
Okay. This feels kind of cruel because I know what they're going for with this. The original song itself is such a hauntingly beautiful song. It's like presented as this happy, upbeat song, but really there's a lot of depth behind the lyrics, and it focuses on how consumers of media and music don't necessarily want to read into or in between the lines. They just want to enjoy and have a good time. And it's very much fitting, especially now with the newest release of Caramel and the lyrical content behind that. Sometimes it can feel like we pour our hearts and our souls into this content and music and art, and people don't fully appreciate it. So I understand what they're going for with this. At the end of the day, it is a piano cover of Hey Ya. So it's like, it's not bad, man. It's just like for Sleep Token, especially within like all this discography here, I don't listen to this song ever. I don't ever chase this song out. I think when you compare it to like, Is It Really You? It's such a weak entry compared to Is It Really You? It doesn't really make me feel anything. It just makes me want to listen to the original song. So for that reason, I'm going to put it in the F tier. The next song is The Way That You Were.
And I am so ready to tear that knife from what
Another emotional ballad. It very much feels like a precursor to The Night Does Not Belong to God. We'll get into that song next. It's emotional, it's haunting, it's sad, it's a tearjerker. Yeah, I guess for me, it does get outshadowed by many of the other ballady songs that we have, especially ones that focus more around the keys and vocals. Yeah, not necessarily a standout for me. I don't really listen to this one much. When I want a piano-y ballad, I probably typically will go towards The Night Belongs to God or something from This Place Will Become Your Tomb. Yeah, not a bad song, but nothing I really think about that much. Now we move on to the first album, Sundowning. And the first track off that album is The Night Does Not Belong to God. Now, where I think the way that you were falters in what it's trying to achieve, I think The Night Does Not Belong to God fucking hits every single mark for me. It's punchy, it's emotional, it's an absolute banger of a song. There are so many elements within it I'm in awe of. Such a great, solid track. Something that I listen to constantly. It's always on rotation. Just such a emotionally packed and weighted song. If you separate it from the album, it's still a standout song. A great opener for the album too. I really like this track. For that reason, I think it definitely sits on the S tier. It needs to be on S. It's just very, very solid track. Moving on to The Offering. Say goodbye. This serves as the intro track to their live set, at least when I saw them, it was. A very solid, energetic way to start out a set. The song builds up with this real crazy lead. Drums are so clean. It's groovy, it's rough, it's heavy. Got a great breakdown. I love this song. Its placement here is so perfect too. I think it fits in the A tier for sure. The next track is Levitate. Tears are falling. I'm crying in the club right now.
In the club, we all fam.
Yeah, very sad, somber track. I think where it suffers is, again, I think there are songs that outshine it a little bit. It's a song that I definitely will come to and want to listen to, but I don't think it's a song that I would ever really seek out 90% of the time. It's just like a 10% of the time when I'm like really, really depressed or something, or I don't know, I'm out of coffee at home and I need to cry. It's a great track. I think it's a B track. Let's just say it's B. The next track is Dark Signs.
And if you saw the marks on my dashboard.
This is such a banger of a song. It's dark, it's trappy, it's nightcore-y. It's different to everything that they've produced before this, you know, like the EPs, the singles, the other songs that we've heard from the album. We're seeing all these different sides of Sleep Token come out in these different ways. It's very entertaining and very fun to watch. I think this song also goes in the A tier. Very solid track. I personally love it. I think it's a great track. The next track is Higher. So now we have a bit more of a prog post-rock style song. The instrumental here is nuts, goes so many different places. The guitar line is so sick. It's a very solid track. Drum work is fantastic. The vocals are insane. We have a really sick breakdown. It has everything really within it. Yeah, it's a very standout track. It's very solid. Sundowning so far is coming off very, very strong with some absolutely solid tracks. Take Aim. Take Aim. This one is very cutesy, very poppy, a bit more stripped back. This one's a favorite for a couple friends of mine. I do like this song. It's definitely not as high up as some of the other songs, especially within this album and everything that we have so far from this discography. I think it's a B song for me. Not terrible, but again, it's one of those songs that if I'm in the right mood for it, it's definitely going to hit well. The next song is Give.
If you wanna give.
Oh, dude, this song fucks. I think if you're gonna strip it back a bit and have a bit more of a, you know, emotional song or something a bit more focused on the vocals and the storytelling, Give is such a solid track. It's enjoyable to listen to. Any mood, I think it's going to hit for me. This one definitely sits around the A mark. The next track is Gods. Damn, this song is heavy. Coming straight off the Give, it's fucking nuts, dude. Straight up Goon Squad, Deftones in the intro. It's heavier, it's a bit more prog. Yeah, very solid track. This one just explodes right in your face. It just keeps building and building and building, and then it sort of breaks down a little bit and gives you these little moments of clarity, and then it punches you right in the face again, and that fucking ending is nuts, dude. It's an A tier one for sure. Sugar. Now, this might be a controversial one. I absolutely love this song. I love this song. As a fan of not only heavy music, but other styles and genres of music, it just ticks so many fucking boxes for me. I listen to this and it just hypes me the fuck up. Sing along to it. I'm shouting this in the car. And then we get like this crazy atmosphere, this sections to breathe, a very catchy, memorable hook. And then it builds up, gets heavier. We have this crazy instrumental. Oh, it's so nuts, man. It's such a solid track. This for me, it's an S tier. Without question, it's an S tier. Perfectly constructed song. I could listen to this every single day, and I pretty much do. I would never get sick of it. Just never, ever, ever get sick of it. Say That You Will. This one reminds me of the EPs a lot. I really like the way that the drums sort of follow the guitar. It's got a solid instrumental to it. Yeah, again, reminds me of the EPs a lot, which I'm not upset about at all. The EPs are great. Maybe in a way it's sort of showing where they came from with their EP work. They're sort of showing their evolution and where they're at now. Yeah, great track. I like this one. It's an A tier. That's an A. Drag Me Under. Yeah, very pretty track. Feels like it could fit on This Place Will Become Your Tomb quite well. It's got that real underwater feeling, that sense of like drowning and hearing something from below. I think I'm going to rank this one B. Bloodsport. Bloodsport just fucked me up, fam. Just all the emotions. Wow, what a way to end out an album. It hits all those emotional notes that you want to hit. Yeah, this one's so solid. I think Bloodsport goes in S. If I want an emotional song, Bloodsport has, that lyrical content, has everything that I kind of want from a real sad emotional song. I love it. I think it's great. Okay, and the next track is Atlantic. Emotional song. It's got some heavy subject matter. The lyrics focus on a very emotional story. It builds up into a very earned heavy section. It's such a unique opener for an album too, to start off with a very emotional, sad ballad like this. Man, I mean, if you want to cry, this is the song for you. Hi, Pi. If you're someone who suffers from mental illness and you have thoughts of self-harm or something worse, this song will really resonate with you. I think it's an A for me. Hypnosis. This is a bit more of a typical heavier song. I love the drum fill in the intro. Yeah, a solid track for me. Picks up the energy a little bit. Yeah, great song. It's got a bit more heaviness to it. It's now taking us for a bit of a different journey. I think Hypnosis is an A for me. The next track is Mine. This is such a cool track. I love all the instruments that they use for this song. It's very different. It sort of goes a different direction. Really cool build up, really cool chorus moment. I think it's so sick. I think it's a very solid track. Mine will put you an A. The next track is Like That. A very haunting track. Again, we have some really cool darker elements within this song. I don't know about this one. It's a good song. I think where this album suffers is its cohesion, whereas Sundowning kind of goes in different directions and feels like one song is very separate to the other, while also being a mess of genres and sounds and moods and atmospheres and elements. This album simultaneously feels like it's all the same album, but not at the same time. There's just some songs that I think take me out of the experience a bit, and this is one of them. I just don't know how I feel about it. It's a good song, it's just I don't really know how I feel about it. I think it goes to C for me. The next track is The Love You Want. I think for me, like with Sundowning's Take Aim, there's just some songs that I just don't necessarily think about that much. The Love You Want is one of them. I don't necessarily think about this song too much. It doesn't really come across my listens. It doesn't necessarily do a lot for me. I think it's a good song. Nothing really necessarily wrong with it. I just don't personally like it that much. It's not really my style. And that's not to say like that Sleep Token need to just do heavy stuff. Songs like Sugar or Dark Signs, Give, you know, all of those kind of songs, they still feel uniquely them, and this song just doesn't really do much for me, if I'm being completely honest. So I think I'm gonna go D. I don't really like this song that much, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Wow, no.
The next track is 4 for me.
So won't you fall for me? Won't you fall for me?
The vocoder on this is really cool. I think again, it just doesn't really ring too much for me. The lyrics are great. The vocoder is cool. I don't personally listen to this that much. I think I'm gonna have to rank this in maybe a C. It kind of sits in that like middle point for me where I don't dislike it, but I also don't care that much for it. I'll listen to it, but I won't actively go out of my way to listen to it. The next track is Alkaline. I mean, dude, it's fucking Alkaline. This is the easiest one to rank. It's a solid track. I think this is where This Place Will Become Your Tomb feels sort of disjointed for me. There's some tracks where I'm like, this is one of your greatest songs you've ever written. And then there's other tracks where I'm like, I just don't get it. Alkaline is such a solid track. It's one of those tracks where if you're introducing someone to Sleep Token, you're probably going to show them Alkaline or something like that. A great, great song. The next track is Distraction. Again, a very emotional one. And again, sort of giving us that energy that the early EPs kind of do. They have that slow build up and we end it and round it out with a bit more of a heavier section. Very solid track. Nothing really I can fault about it. Again, maybe not something that I necessarily will go out of my way to listen to that much. I'll give it a B. I think B is very fitting for it. The next song is Descending. This one is sick, dude. The soundscape in this one is so dope. And the little elements that we have throughout, it kind of gives me that like Dark Signs edge to it. It's very dark. It's kind of trappy. The vocals are insane, work so well for this track. I love this track. I listen to this one quite a bit. Great solid track. This one's definitely A for me. The next track is Telomeres. This one's a very emotional song too. It builds up super nice. The ending is so chaotic and energetic. Some amazing instrumentals on this track. Yeah, towards the end here, we sort of really hit our stride with This Place Will Become Your Tomb. Solid track. I think this one's A. Definitely A for sure. The next track is High Water.
And I'd show myself my sacred paper.
This one's phenomenal. I mean, the vocal work in this is so tremendous. Catchy, emotional, weighted, and it builds so nicely. Yeah, very emotional track. The guitar work is dope. The soundscape is great again. The keys are sensational. Yeah, I love this song. This is a great song. A. Definitely A for me. Yeah, like I said, the end of this album is really picking up. I think this is kind of what the theme of the album is, and then I think just some tracks just don't necessarily tick that for me, but towards the end with Descending, Telomeres, High Water, this is a great run of tracks. The next track and the final track for This Place Will Become Your Tomb is Missing Limbs.
Oh, but worry not. The blessings rain like bottles in the heavens.
Yeah, fuck it. I'm just going to drown myself. Yeah, fuck it. Again, emotional ending. What a way to end out the album. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really hit the same way that, like, you know, maybe Bloodsport or Euclid does for me. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really hit the same way. It's very emotional. It's very sad, and it grips you quite a bit. I just don't know if it really ends the same way. I think it's a B. You know, it's definitely not a bad song. There's nothing wrong with it at all. I just think it doesn't hit the same way some of the other more emotional songs do. The next track is It Really You, a cover of the Loathe song by the same title.
Let's search the skies for
I like this cover. I think it's a great cover. I love Loathe. Teenage Wrist did a very good cover of this song as well. What separates it from the cover of, like, say, Hey Ya? I feel like here there's actually an intention to do it a different way and showcase it a different way. They very easily could have thrown in some guitars and bass here and the drums and whatever, but Sleep Token decided to create this emotional piano ballad using the chords and the structure set up by Loathe. It's so emotional. The weight in Vessel's voice is just hits so good, man. I think because it is a cover, I have to sort of rank it a little bit less. And again, it's not a song that I necessarily listen to every single day. I love this song, but it's not a song they wrote, so I can't really say it's one of the greatest songs that they have. So I think I'll just put it in C. It's a very good song, very solid cover, but it's just that, it's a cover. And now we're moving on to Take Me Back to Eden. I'm going to say it right now, I think this is going to be the highest ranking album. I think for me personally, this is when Sleep Token really found this stride. They had this solid foundation of writing behind them with the previous 2 albums and the 2 EPs. Lots of these songs go different places. They highlight these different emotions, these different moods and atmospheres that they've shown you already, but in such a unique and different way. When it gets heavy, it's heavy. When it gets sad, it gets sad. When it gets groovy, it gets groovy. When it's proggy, when it's funky, when it's whatever it wants to be, it hits so fucking well. And we started off with a very, very solid track, Chokehold. Just a good solid track, very much a banger. Some strong lyricism, instrumental work is very good. We start off the album in a very strong way. Chokehold's a fantastic song. The vocals are insane. Soundscape builds very well. I think it's a B for me. Next up we have The Summoning. Look, man. It has to be. It has to be. I don't care what anyone says. If I hear any fucking comments down in the comment section below being like, oh, it's a song that everyone knows, it's been played to death. It's a song that everyone knows because it's a good fucking song. It's a great fucking song. It's proggy. We get some heavy moments. The screams are incredible. A big instrumental break before we get into a funk section. I mean, it's absurd. This is the song that, like, got a lot of people into the band, and for a good reason. It's a fucking tremendous song. Look, there it is. It's an S tier song. You can make your own and put it in F for all I give a fuck. Whatever. You build your own thing, tag me and say fuck you Tom or whatever. I don't care. Granite.
when you sit there, acting like you know me, acting like you only brought me here to get below me.
Wow, this is a groovy song, man. I'm constantly finding myself in the car just screaming and shouting the verses and choruses for this. Great song. Love this song. Granite, fantastic. Yeah, you're going in A, buddy. Aqua Regia.
Aqua Regia, oxytocin running in the ether.
Okay. I'm gonna lose some people with this.
Get the f out, man!
Hey, what can you do? It's an incredible song, man. Incredible callbacks to some of the older songs, Jaws, Sugar, Dark Signs. Piano interlude's dope. It's a faultless song. It's so good. The piano is tremendous. Next up we have Vore. This is a heavy song. It is so fucking heavy, dude. This is probably my favorite song in the entirety of the discography. I listen to this song constantly. I love this song. When I saw it live, fucking killed me, floored me. I transcended. I saw spirits in vessel masks. Sleep spoke to me. Wow, Vore is chaotic. The screams are nuts. The guitar work is crazy. The subject matter, the lyricism. I mean, the title itself is fucking dope, dude. Nah, S. Has to be S. Ascensionism. Oh my god. Ascensionism. Oh my god. When I say Ascensionism gives me life, it breathes life into me. It feels like if I don't listen to this song, I'm going to die. Ascensionism is my life support. Ascensionism makes me feel so many things. The ending to Ascensionism kills me every single time. It is perfection in a song. I can't tell you how many times I've cried listening to this. Putting an S tier. Someone might write a mean comment in the comment section and I'll cry and listen to the Ascensionism and then I'll feel better. It's S. S, dude. Fucking S. Next up we have Are You Really Okay? Really great emotional song. It serves as a great break between the songs within this album. It's emotional, it's heavy. Again, lyricism's on fire. The vocals are great. Yeah, I really like this song. It's a great solid track. Makes me cry. Again, makes me feel all the things. I think B fits for this song. The Apparition.
So let's make trouble in the dream world. Hijack heaven with another memory.
Banger, dude. Banger. Wow, that little, that... Oh man, every single time it gets me. When this song gets going, it doesn't stop. It just keeps... Every single time I listen to it, I'm like, yep, you've got me. You've fucking got me. Hook, line, and sinker. You have all of me, Vessel. Do you wish that you loved me?
Can you ever forgive yourself? Do you wish that you loved me?
I think this is a very underrated track in my opinion. The vocal work is great, the instruments are great, the production's fantastic. Amongst some other heavy hitting tracks, especially within this album. I think this one's an A. Yeah, I think more people should listen to this song. It's a very, very solid track. Rain. Again, this sort of track brings me back to the EPs. I think that sort of emotional build up, the production side, it kind of reminds me of Rain a little bit. Yeah, solid track, very emotional again. I think it's also an A. Oh yeah? Yeah, I think it's an A for me. Take Me Back to Eden.
Take me back to Eden.
Wow, dude. I don't know if I have the words to explain to you or to express why this is so good and how it is so good. It's that Sleep Token formula where they're like, here's us, here's the styles we are going to do within one song and it's going to work. How the fuck do you do that? How do you have a piano ballad, a dark trap section, emotional instrumental build up that feels heavy but emotionally charged at the same time, and then round it out with a fucking heavy breakdown? It's cinema within an auditory experience. It's S, dude. It's fucking S. If there was ever an S tier song, it's this. And then we round out this album with Euclid.
Do you remember me?
Ah, dude, wow. What an amazing song. Rounds out everything from the previous albums. It rounds out the EPs. We have callbacks, references to other tracks. It's a fucking solid track, dude. Euclid's S tier. It's one of the greatest songs that they've ever written. And it serves as like this chapter end of like, here's everything we've written. This all told a story. We're finishing the story with this. It's insane. It's such a great song. And I'm back. Yes, we are going to jump straight into Even in Arcadia. What an absolutely stacked album. We are going on a journey with some of these songs. Jumping straight into Look to Windward.
Will you hold this eclipse in?
So this is the first track off the album. It is super tense, crazy atmospheric build up, and then it explodes into this heavy section in true Sleep Token fashion. We dip from that into a dark trap section. The payoff is just so satisfying. It's high tier structure and pacing, easily one of the strongest songs on the album, and its place here as the starting track is so fitting. I have to give it an S tier. I think just purely off of how it is constructed, it has that Take Me Back to Eden construction where it's like, I think I know where this is going, and then it changes, and then just the lyricism, the sound, the evolution for their sound, it has to be S. I can't think of anything else that it would belong to. Next up, we have Emergence. This one is such a straight up banger, immediately engaging from the second it starts, and then it just shifts completely again, sets the tone for the record. It makes you hyped for what is bound to come. When it first came out, I was just so thrilled to see where the band was going to go with this album, and the payoff was just so great. So often you get these singles from bands and they showcase this new style or this new era for their music, and then you get into the album and it's just like, all right, this is kind of the same shit. Kind of the same shit you've been doing for the past 5 years. This album genuinely feels like a step forward, like a new trilogy, a new evolution, and Emergence set up the groundwork for that so perfectly. I think I'm going to put it on A. I think it's a great song. Next up, we have lot of vibes, which I think was the goal and the intention there. It's mysterious, it's nostalgic, it's melancholy in an uplifting kind of way, reflective, but it's also introspective, looking forward to the future and accepting things. I really like it. I don't necessarily think it hit as emotionally as some other tracks did for me, but it is a very charming track and very fun to listen to. I think this one goes on B for me. Next up, we have Dangerous.
I thought I could resist you. Something in me just can't.
Oh god. Yeah, this is a ridiculously sexy track. It just emanates sensual energy. It's eventually I'm going to do a breakdown on this album, but like I remember writing specifically that this song will make someone pregnant. It's going to happen. It has one of the best build-ups on the album. It lifts and then it cascades to this crazy dark trappy R&B section that just feels so euphoric when it hits. It's such a crazy contrast to have that, and then we lead into this crushing heavy section. Immediate fan favorite. I think this is one of the most successful songs on the album. Insane stage energy potential for this track as well. I think this one is absolutely an S tier song. Next up is Caramel. This one's layered, it's unique, it's again very genre blending, mixes some Afrobeat, reggaeton style rhythms with like prog structure and some of the most heartbreaking lyrics I think that Sleep Token have ever given us. It's subtle yet devastating, grows on you very fast. I really like the song. I think the fact that there's a like reggaeton style beat, then later on in the same song we have blast beats is fucking insane to think of. If you were to tell me that Sleep Token were going to make a song like this, on paper, I would say that sounds fucking terrible and is never going to work. But listening to it, especially coming into it blind when it first came out as the single, it just like blew me the fuck away. I couldn't even fathom that these two sections were part of the same track. It's such a crazy song. Caramel's definitely an A tier for me. Next up, we have the title track, Even in Arcadia. So this one's very cinematic, very thematic. It feels like a thesis statement. Super heavy emotional tone to this one. Huge, big ambient energy. This one kind of anchors the album with weight and presence rather than necessarily exploding with like a million different sections and genre blending. It's kind of setting up like the foundation for what this album is about and the overall mood and message and even the theme behind even In Arcadia. It's a bold move to give the title track as much restraint as they have here, especially since the last album, Take Me Back to Eden, the title track was just this insane cacophony of genres and moods and sounds and elevations, cascades. Like it was just such a ballad of a song, and this one is very cinematic but also grounded at the same time. I think it does a great job at what it's trying to achieve, so I definitely think it's an A tier for me. Next up is Provider. Now look, Provider for me, I don't really know how I feel about it. It's not necessarily a standout to me. It kind of just drifts compared to the rest of the songs, and this is kind of like a point that was made in Damocles. Like, not every song is going to be, you know, insane ballady with 500 different genres and doing something insane or crazy. Even when they're practicing some restraint with their songwriting, I think they still achieve some great sounds. If we look at Do You Wish That You Loved Me and Dark Signs, these songs don't necessarily have that typical Sleep Token structure where they're doing 15 different genres in one song, or making an 8-minute long track that has all these different like evolutions and sections. They've done songs like that before where it doesn't have that structure and it still works really well. I just don't know if this one necessarily for me is that. It's got some like great synth layers and textures going on, but I think the impact is overall quite lacking. It's not necessarily skippable for me. I do enjoy it, especially compared to other tracks on this album. I don't think it's necessarily a huge standout for me. Next track is Damocles.
When the river runs dry and the curtain is cold, how will I know if I can't see the bottom? Come up.
Damocles for me, I admittedly, when I listened to it for the first time when it came out as a single, I did have that moment of like, oh yeah, it's pretty good. Nothing really like insane or groundbreaking or changing the game. Then it got to the lyricism where he literally says like, I know these chords are boring, can't always be killing the game. And then I felt bad for thinking like, oh, well, you know, I guess he's got a fucking point. Like, not every song needs to be insanely dynamic and crazy and otherworldly or doing something new. So it's like, I kind of get it. I'm like, oh, whatever, you know. It's still for me not a insanely technical or out there song. It's got some high notes, but it doesn't necessarily leave a mark like the others. It's a solid mid-album listen. I think maybe I'd put it on B. Next up is Gethsemane.
Call upon the person that tried to turn my salvation for you. Someone who didn't mind the push-pull part of games.
Now, this song, on the other hand, is absolutely gut-wrenchingly cathartic. The verses are immaculately created. Everything is an emotional 10. Everything's just maxed out. It's emotional songwriting at its best. It's one of the most powerful lyrical tracks on the record. This one lingers long after you've listened to it. I think a lot of people who will listen to this song will find a strong connection to the lyricism. I'm sure you can listen to it and empathize with the lyrics. It's all about a rough and traumatic relationship that's somewhat abusive, emotionally and psychologically. I'm sure a lot of people out there can listen to that with that sort of cathartic feeling of, holy shit, this like speaks to me. It's such a journey, especially if you're someone who is heartbroken or has had a rough experience with a relationship. It definitely hits in that instance. In terms of construction, I think it's absolutely perfect. Heavy sections, ballady sections, dark trap towards the end, and it leads perfectly out. It doesn't necessarily finish like a book end. It just finishes and you're like, fuck, because closure necessarily isn't like that. It isn't clean. It's very like... And then finally we end with Infinite Baths. It's dense with feeling and swelling instrumentation. It might not blow you away necessarily on the first listen, but man, does it fucking sink in. It's like a final exhale for the album, and it feels like this weird infinite loop where this kind of perfectly leads into Look to Windward. So it feels like this cyclical thing where it's all connected to each other in some way. The heavy sections in this and towards the ending is just nuts. I remember the first time I listened to this, I was just like, what the fuck fuck is happening? Yeah, I definitely think this one fits in the A tier. All right, and there you go. That is every single Sleep Token song in existence bar the extra tracks. I'll put the link to this tier list in the description if you want to make your own. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Definitely a little bit of a different one. Definitely a different style. I would like to do more of these. If you have any suggestions, please let me know. For that, I would like to say, if it is your birthday while you're watching this, then happy birthday to you. If you're going through a tough time, just remember there's always someone out there who's willing to listen to you and can empathize with you, and there's always hope. With that, I will sign off, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Uncle Gubsy?